Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we're talking about another straight white male being attacked. This time it's actor Mark Wahlberg, who's recently been getting shit on by the media and even some of his fellow Hollywood elites. The issue is involving his latest movie, All the Money in the World, which was forced to go into reshoots last December, just a few weeks before its Christmas Day release. Why? Well, Kevin Spacey was a main character in the movie, but once the story broke out about all of his sexual misconduct in the past, Spacey began to get pulled from every project he was currently part of, including this movie, which at the time had already finished shooting and was being edited. Director Ridley Scott decided that rather than release this movie with a sexual predator in a leading role, they would just reshoot his parts with a new actor. Christopher Plummer was hired to replace Spacey, and the crew began shooting immediately.
You used to be a spy.
My child is a prisoner.
$17 million. All they will take is eye, his ear, the hand, and don't tell me you don't have the money.
Now at the time, Ridley Scott claimed that other actors were returning for reshoots, and they were all doing it for free, basically. And this included our boy Mark Wahlberg, and the leading lady Michelle Williams. But here comes the problem, or supposed problem. Come to find out, this week it was made public that while Williams virtually did her reshoots for free, taking a mere $80 a day, which is the legal minimum, Mark Wahlberg on the other hand was paid a hefty $1.5 million for his reshoots. His agent has even been quoted as saying, "Mark doesn't work for free." Now, at face value, this really doesn't seem that bad to me. Wahlberg is clearly the star of the movie and a huge draw for moviegoers. Michelle Williams, on the other hand, while critically acclaimed and very talented, she just isn't as big a name as Mark, so her getting paid less makes sense. And let's not forget, she likely already got plenty of money for her part in the movie. I'm guessing at least over $1 million, so asking her to come back for some reshoots isn't really that out of line. That is, until the media and social justice warriors get a hold of this information. They of course are turning this into a pay gap issue, saying this is because Mark is a man and Michelle is a woman, which I think is absolutely fucking absurd. This has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with the actors, their careers, and the amount of tickets the studio can sell by having their names attached. Another big factor here is each of the stars' agents, which the media and commentators appear to be trying to brush off. Their claim is that since both actors are at the same agency, WME, they should have gotten the same or similar negotiations, but this is simply untrue. The same agency really doesn't mean shit, especially at such a big one like WME, which probably has hundreds if not thousands of different agents working for them. Actually, you know what? I was way under here. They have around 4,000 agents according to a few websites I looked into. So with that said, Mark and Michelle's respective agents can have widely varying degrees of skill and pull in the industry, which will certainly affect their clients and their earnings.
I'm gonna find your son. You're protected from every threat. Unless that threat happens to be me. Paul, I just want to go home.
Paul.
And let's not forget who Wahlberg's agent is, Ari Emanuel, who is not only the CEO of the entire WME agency, he's also regarded as one of the best in the game. Hell, they made a whole TV show about Wahlberg and his agent called Entourage on HBO. If you guys don't remember, Jeremy Piven plays a fictionalized version of Ari, and it was a big hit show, but I digress.
Great work. See if you can read this. You're fired. And in case your ears are fucked, get the fuck out!
Now, with all that said and put into perspective, it really makes sense why Mark got paid more than Michelle for the reshoots here. And if you know Ari's reputation and character in Entourage, you could totally see him saying something like, "Mark doesn't work for free." But that hasn't stopped people from getting on their high horses about this non-controversy. For example, Jessica Chastain, another actress, commented this on Twitter: "Please go see Michelle's performance in All the Money in the World. She's a brilliant Oscar-nominated, Golden Globe-winning actress. She has been in the industry for 20 years. She deserves more than 1% of her male co-star's salary." If you say so, Jessica, I say she deserves what she gets. And I highly doubt Williams is only getting 1% of Wahlberg's salary for the movie. This is a gross misrepresentation in order to try and fuel this whole sexist pay gap narrative. Michelle may have gotten 1% of what Mark got for the reshoots, but not in the whole movie, which again, I'm sure they both got paid millions for. Chastain is just stirring the pot here, trying to be all pro-woman, and for idiots like this, that makes them want to hate on men.
I'm so happy, Ari. You've made me very happy. I hope you're happy too.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Has so much cum been squirted in those eyes you can't see what's right in front of your face? Amanda Daniels takes that job, Vince is fucked, and I'm fucked. which means we're all fucked. And we're fucked in the way you like to get fucked, not fucked in the way that normal people like to get fucked.
Next, we got a tweet from another actress, Sophia Bush. It reads, exposing the gross disparity in pay and hard evidence of gender gap, negotiated by the same agents no less, isn't a witch hunt. It's a demand for fair practices. One person suggesting he step up for a co-star or women in general is just a suggestion, not a Putin-level order. Well, apparently this Bush bitch was hired for her looks, not her critical thinking abilities. First of all, they have the same agencies, not the same agents, as far as I know. I tried finding the exact name of Williams' agent, but it's not out there as far as I can see on the net. But I highly doubt it was Ari Emanuel, who only takes on the biggest and most high-profile clients at this point, and Williams only switched over to the WME agency a few years ago, according to Deadline, so there's no way Ari, the CEO, would pick up Williams this late in the game, especially considering she's just not that big of a deal. Mark Wahlberg is though, and he's been with Ari forever, so no, they don't have the same agents. Their agents both work in the same building. Big difference.
Jesse, how have you been?
I've been...
Great, I'm back, and you're fired. Hello all, no need to run. Your fates have already been sealed. You're safe.
Oh my God.
You're safe, for now. Hello, nice to see you. Who's your best client?
And as for fair practices, I mean, who said this was a fair game to begin with? And I don't even see how jobs like acting and performance stuff can be made to pay fairly. Absolutely. First of all, they're paid by their demand and their notoriety, which Mark has way more of, so in a way, that is fair. It's fair that he gets paid more since he's more famous. And then you gotta think about how much filming and screen time each actor gets. I'm willing to bet Mark is in more of the movie, and he had to shoot more days being the star. But dum-dums commenting saying this is sexist don't factor in any of these details. They got no nuance. They try and make things all black and white so they can push their feminist, anti-male agendas.
I didn't hire an ex-CIA officer just to pay people off. I hired you to do things that other people can't or won't do.
We have to be willing to walk away.
He's my son. I can't walk away.
Before we go, there are two more factors at play here. First, the proven fact that men are more likely to step up and ask for raises and more money at work. This has been shown in study after study. Men are just more likely to ask for more money, while women remain content with what they got. That or they're just afraid to ask. Either way, this is not sexism. This is the two different genders acting differently in similar situations. And there are only two genders, by the way. But instead of recognizing this, women ignore it and blame their lower pay on sexism, because I guess that's an easier and more convenient excuse, instead of facing the harsh reality that they're less likely to ask for more money. Bottom line is this: Michelle Williams agreed to do the reshoots for free, or close to it. That was her choice. Mark, on the other hand, agreed to reshoot, but he had his agent negotiate for more pay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong here. There's no crime. There's no shame in asking for more money to do more work either. If Michelle wants to work for free, that's fine, but people shouldn't jump all over Mark's dick for asking for money. I say that's his right, and I would have done the exact same thing if I was him.
And he made a film about patriarchy in terms of family, in terms of industry and government. And what women have to do to try to navigate the rules of men.
Last thing I'll say is, these actors certainly signed contracts with the studio, Sony. And from what I've heard, Michelle's contract said she would do the reshoots for no extra pay, while Mark's didn't. And at the end of the day, they both signed and knew what they were getting into. Saying there's a sexist angle here is just plain stupid. Just another case of feminists and SJWs trying to make something out of nothing. Every time they see a male making more money, they lose their shit and start crying sexism and pay gap, even though that bullshit has been debunked for years. What do you guys think? Was Sony being sexist when they paid Mark Wahlberg more than Michelle Williams? Or is Mark Wahlberg just worth more money because he's a bigger star? And do their respective agents play a bigger role in this than the feminazis lead on? Comment your thoughts below, and thanks for watching No Bullshit. See y'all next time. One more thing, I want to give a special thanks to these amazing Patreon supporters. You guys are the best. You guys went above and beyond the rest, and I love you so much for it. If anyone else wants to donate or join our Patreon crew, link in the description. Thanks again.
I didn't go to the Lakers game because they were playing the fucking Bobcats. And I came here today because I thought this was a session on how my wife could learn to communicate, how to answer a question without a question. Basic Humanity 101, which I thought, given your wall of fucking diplomas, you could easily fix. Or if you couldn't, you could give her a pill that could either fix it or make her a mute.